Section 3 asks us to cover questions 6 and 7. So let's start off. It says, suppose the center of the windmill is not positioned at the origin of an coordinate plane, but at 2, -3. Draw a center with center at 2, -3 that contains the points 5, 1. Write the equation of any circle with a radius r and center at 2, -3. Substitute 5, 1 for x and y in the equation from 6a. Explain what information this gives you about your circle. Write the equation of the circle with center 2, -3 that contains the point 5, 1. Okay, so I want to go back to this generalized formula that we just wrote just a second ago, which was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where h, k is the center of my circle and r is my radius. Okay. So write an equation of any circle with radius r and center at 2, -3. So I'm going to say x minus 2 squared plus y minus a -3. So it's really going to say plus 3 squared equals r squared. So all I did was don't know my radius yet, and this is my h, this is my k. Substitute 5, 1 for x and y in the equation from item 6a and explain what information this gives you about the circle. So we're going to plug in 5 minus 2 squared plus 1 plus 3 squared equals r squared. What does this tell me about my circle? Well, I know that 5, 1 is on the circle, right? So if we solve for x, solve for r, we can get our radius. So let's work through that. 5 minus 2, that's 3, right? So 3 squared plus 1 plus 3 is 4 squared. And this is going to equal r squared, right? Well, 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. And this is equal to r squared, right? That's 25 equals my radius squared. What's the radius's measure? 5. So write the equation of the circle with center at 2, -3 that contains the point 5, 1. So we're going to go back to what we wrote down for 6a. X minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared. But this time I know my r. My r is 5. So I write down 5 squared. If you wanted to, you could always write this as 25. But remember that if you write it as 25, you must leave the square off. You can't say 25 squared. That throws your entire calculation off. On to number 7. Critique the reasoning of others. Wyatt made the statement that the point 2 square root of 6 lies on the circle centered at the origin and contains the point 0, 4. He's given the following proof to support the statement. The radius is 4. The equation of the circle is x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 4 squared. And x squared plus y squared equals 16. Now we substitute 2 square root of 6 for x and y in the equation. So 2 squared plus square root of 6 squared equals 16. He says 4 plus 12 equals 16, and 16 does equal 16. Do you agree with Wyatt? If not, provide justification to support your answer. Well, it tells us that the circle is centered at the origin. And it says that it contains the point 0, 4. So that means that the radius is 4. Okay. So this up to this point is correct. Okay. But let's look at what happened when he substituted. 2 squared. Would you agree that 2 squared is 4? Yes. Is the square root of 6 squared 12? 2 squared is indeed 4. But the square root of 6 raised to the second power is not 12. That would be the square root of 36, and the square root of 36 is 6. So we had an error here. He put 12 there, and that's only 6. And does this equal 16? 10 does not equal 16. So therefore, the point 2 square root of 6 is not on the circle. So it is not on that circle. On to your next set of questions.